What do you think when I say miracle? Do you think of people dying and coming back again? Do you think of miracles of Jesus, like him healing a blind man? Perhaps you know someone who says they've experienced a miracle themselves. Before you get suspicious and deny the fact that modern miracles exist, first let's find the definition of a miracle. There are many people who claim to know the definition of what a miracle is. For example, the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy's article on David Hume, who lived from 1711 to 1776 and was called Saint David, and denies all miracles as stated in section X of his writing Inquiry. He says, "A miracle is a violation of the laws of nature, and as a firm and unalterable experience has established these laws, the proof against a miracle, from the very nature of the fact, is as entire as any argument from experience can possibly be imagined." Another definition comes from Megan Schmidt, who wrote an article for BeliefNet stating, "The Roman Catholic Church has a rigid, formalized vetting process when evaluating miracles, which are defined as divine events that have no natural or scientific explanation. Investigating a single miracle could take years." This definition of a miracle does not state the idea that it has to be against the laws of nature and has to simply be seen as unexplainable. So what is the best definition of a miracle? Well, the best place to look would be the Bible itself. And one of my favorite resources, the virtual website for Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary, it quotes the Bible in context and says, "A miracle in theology is an event or effect contrary to the established constitution and course of things, or a deviation from the known laws of nature, a supernatural event. Miracles can be wrought only by almighty power, as when Christ healed lepers, saying, 'I will, be thou clean,' or calmed the tempest, 'Peace, be still.'" This definition also quotes Mark 6:52 and Acts 2:22. When quoting Mark 6:52, it says, "They considered not the miracle of the loaves." The verse itself says, "For they considered not the miracle of the loaves, for their hearts were hardened." That is the King James Version. Acts 2:22 says, "Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know." That is King James Version as well. This is the best definition of a miracle in accordance with the Bible, but I would add that from the Christian perspective, miracles are performed to glorify God. Now that there is a solid definition, let's look at some examples of modern miracles. The first example is from a student of Robert Wesleyan himself. He is a freshman and a nursing major. He stated on his trip to Malawi, Africa, that my colleague experienced great pain in her shoulder, preventing her from painting the mural, which was the main project we worked on for the orphans there. With her skills, she was crucial to this project, and to hear that her shoulder couldn't function properly troubled the mission team. The team leader asked me to lead our group in prayer for her. Though it felt awkward, I prayed for a miracle, making use of the power God makes available for Christians to do His will. After the first prayer, and to her surprise, she could move her shoulder more easily. A consecutive second and then a third prayer, and the pain subsided completely. Everyone was in awe. I was brought to tears because God answered my prayer. That was in a personal communication, November 17th, 2020. In the same article as previously mentioned, written by Megan Schmidt, two stories of miracles are, from behind me, a mysterious voice led rescuers to find a child who survived for 14 hours in submerged car. In March 2015, Lynn Jennifer Grosbeck, 25, lost control of her car and landed in the icy Spanish Fork River in Utah. 14 hours later, first responders found her 18-month-old daughter, Lily, in her car seat hanging upside down just above frigid river water. Prior to finding Lily, both police officers and firefighters report that they heard an adult voice yell, "Help me," from inside the car. They discovered that the voice could not have come from the young mother, who likely died from the impact. The rescuers still can't explain the voice or how the girl survived hanging upside down for 14 hours in freezing temperatures, without being dressed for the cold. Whether or not they are miracles depends on your definition of a miracle. and by my definition of a miracle, they fit. Now, I cannot deny some may be false. Some miracles that are stated to be true may actually be false or can be explained through science, but people cannot deny some as appearing miraculous. This requires faith to be able to admit that they appear as miracles. Which brings me to my next point. Miracles require faith to believe. If you are constantly suspicious of miracles and harden your heart, it does not matter how much proof can be shown or if the miracle happened right before your eyes, you will not believe in miracles. This means that miracles do require a little bit of faith to believe in. Look back to the Bible passage of Mark 6:52. The disciples, the men that followed Jesus, hardened their hearts, so when they were even in the presence of the miracles of Jesus, feeding the 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, they still did not believe. This brings me to my next point. Modern miracles require the correct perception of them, which is not modern. Miracles require faith to believe, but faith does not require miracles to believe. I will repeat that again. Miracles require faith to believe, but faith does not require miracles to believe. Culture may change, which explains the change in belief of miracles. Believing in miracles requires looking at them from a faith perspective. GodQuestion.org, a resource recommended to me by my home pastor, stated in an article from 2003, when God performed amazing and powerful miracles for the Israelites, did that cause them to obey him? No. The Israelites constantly disobeyed and rebelled against God, even though they saw all the miracles. The Israelites did not have enough faith in God to trust him, so they disobeyed. The main argument against modern miracles is that there is no need for modern miracles because they were used to prove the deity of Jesus Christ and no longer have a purpose. I do not deny the fact that miracles were used to prove the deity of Jesus Christ. What I do deny is the fact that we as humans are in any position to state whether or not miracles have purpose on this planet anymore. And what about Jesus' disciples? In the New Testament of the Bible, the disciples, even after Jesus' death, still went out and performed miracles in the name of God and Jesus. An example is Acts chapter 3, when Peter heals a lame beggar that was lame from birth. This is in the Bible. He had no deity to prove and did it for God and Jesus' glory, which should not be any different from today. When you look at each example of miracles, the Bible, and add a little faith, you will see that miracles are still relevant today and should and do not change with the change of culture. Someday you may pray for a miracle too. We all go through tough situations. Will your faith be a light to others and your prayer provide the miracle necessary to glorify God?